Time to think. Who is your favorite relative? Write 2 sentences. And support. Our first learning begins. Which holds the plant into the ground is called its roots. The plant without roots withers away as it does not get the supply of water. This proves that roots absorb water. Some roots grow above the ground. These roots are called aerial roots. The branches of the trees reach the ground and roots come out of these branches, forming an umbrella of trees as in banyan tree. Chapter 4. The Animal World. Time to think. Write some characteristics which are common to both wild and domestic animals. Animals that move in groups. Some animals move in groups. There are different reasons why animals live in groups. Some of the reasons are as follows. They feel safer in large groups. In cold regions, birds like penguins live in groups to keep each other warm. Some animals move around in groups because they find food in specific areas where they can all gather and eat. Animals that live in groups generally have leaders. The function of the leader is to watch out for the safety of the group. Female elephants, called cows, live with their young ones in groups. The oldest female is the leader of the group. When she senses danger, she lifts her trunk and trumpets loudly. Animal behavior. Some animals are very friendly, while some are shy. Animals such as cats, dogs, and cows are friendly animals. If we are kind to these animals, they will come to us. Animals like rabbits, squirrels, and pigs may not be as friendly as dogs and cats. Are built by worker bees from the wax that comes out of their bodies. In order to collect honey, the beehive is set on fire. The fire drives away the bees from the hives, the hive is removed, and the honey is extracted. Ears of animals. Animals have ears which help them to hear. While some animals have big ears, the others have small ears. However, there are few animals who don't have ears. Animals like elephants, foxes, and bats have big ears. When the elephant senses threat, its ears spread wide on each side of the head. Foxes and bats use their big ears to escape from enemies and to catch their prey. A polar bear has small nubs for ears. It completely closes its ears while swimming to keep the water out. Birds don't have outer ears. They just have two holes in their heads. This enables the birds to fly easily, since outer ears would slow down the birds. Though birds have tiny ears, they are very powerful. They can hear sounds which even humans cannot hear. Take a break. Match the names of animals with their ears. Polar bear, dog, fox, elephant. Snakes do not have ears. They hear through vibrations on the ground. You would wonder how the snake sways to the music of the snake charmer. It simply follows the movements of the snake charmer. Not all sounds can be heard by animals. While some hear only high-pitched sounds, others can only hear low-pitched sounds. Body coverings. Some animals have hair on their bodies. Some have very little hair, while others have thick fur on their bodies. On the basis of clause is as follows. is found in flesh-eating birds. Twigs, leaves, cotton, thread, straw, wool and feathers to make nests. Some birds make their nests using different materials. For example, crows use sticks to build their nest. Swallows use clay to make their nest. Penguins build their nests using stones on the ground. A tailor bird sews leaves together using silk, grass, thread or wool to make its nest. A weaver bird uses twigs and grass to build its nest. A woodpecker uses its special beak to make a hole in the trunk of a tree for nesting. A swan lays eggs on plants. An eagle builds its nest on the topmost branch of a tall tree or on a rocky crag that is inaccessible. Chapter 6. Whom do plants and trees belong to? Time to think. Count the number of trees in the picture. Whom do these plants and trees belong to? We find trees and plants in our homes, neighborhood, parks, gardens, and on roadsides. These plants and trees differ in their size, shape of leaves, fruits, seeds, color of leaves and flower, etc. Whom do plants and trees belong to? Plants and trees are very useful. They provide us with fruits and vegetables, purify the air, give us shade, and provide shelter to many birds and animals. But have you ever thought, whom do these plants belong to? These trees and plants belong to us. They are an integral part of our environment. Who looks after trees? In towns and cities, the trees that grow along the roads and those that are found on roads are looked after by government bodies called the municipal corporation or the municipality. The government ensures the safety of these plants and trees by building fences or placing a metal channel around these trees. Wild plants. Wild plants are those plants that are not planted. They grow on their own. They are mostly undesirable plants that grow rapidly and affect the growth of domestic plants. However, there are some that have great medicinal value. The undesirable wild plants are called weeds. Common weeds. Some of the common weeds are Congress grass, commonly found along roadsides, railway tracks, river banks, and construction sites. It causes skin problems and allergies. Daisies, wildflowers that grow along the hillside or meadow. They are white in color and have small rounded evergreen leaves. They grow like weeds on lawns and can't be easily destroyed. These flowers attract bees, butterflies, and birds. Water hyacinths. They grow up to 3 feet in height. They have thick, waxy, rounded, and glossy leaves. They grow very fast and cover the entire water surface. They block boat traffic, prevent swimming and fishing. They also prevent sunlight and oxygen from entering the water. Dandelions grow fast and spread rapidly. They have yellow seeds and the flower changes into a white, round seed head overnight. Each seed has a tiny parachute that spreads far and wide in the wind. Plants with medicinal properties. Some wild plants are useful to us because they have medicinal properties. On the plants and trees that grow in the forests. Forests get spoiled quickly, they cannot be stored for too long. These perishable fruits and vegetables are quickly transported to the mandi for sale. Non-perishable food items like grains and pulses are packed in bags and sold in bulk. Grocers buy bags of grains and pulses in large quantities and take them to shops. They buy only as much as they can sell. Sometimes middlemen buy the produce at a mandi and supply it to different grocers of the area on a regular basis. Eating at special occasions. It is much more fun to eat with the family than to eat alone. And it is even more fun when we eat with friends and relatives on various occasions. Eating together with other members of our community on special occasions is called community eating. Langar. A langar is a free meal served during the celebration of Sikh festivals or other occasions when the community get together to pray for a specific purpose in Gurudwara. The food served at a langar is purely vegetarian. There are people involved in organizing a langar. There are people who prepare food, others who serve the food once it is prepared, and another group who ensures that the place is cleaned after the food is served. The langar was started by Guru Nanak Dev. It combines three noble principles: charity, community service, and social equality. The rees are neatly spread out for people to sit on. People are served in disposable plates made of dried and pressed leaves. This practice of eating together is found in other communities too. Community meals allow us to enjoy each other's festivals and special dishes. For example, people look forward to having sevaiyan on Eid, Christmas cake on Christmas, several varieties of payasam on Onam, and pitha on Bihu. The other times when people eat together are events like birthdays, weddings, and wedding anniversaries. Midday meal scheme in schools. The Indian government has started a midday meal scheme in government schools. This is because many of the students in these schools cannot afford to bring healthy food to school. The main idea is to promote the right to food. The midday meal has the following benefits: encourages children to come to school, helps in the healthy growth of the child, reduces inequality. At boarding school. In boarding schools, the students and teachers on duty eat together in one large dining hall. The school management ensures that the timings for the meals are fixed, the meals are nutritious, and the food is cooked hygienically. Nitty-gritty. Eating a balanced diet is vital for good health and well-being. Chapter 8. Water. Time to think. Where does the water in your home come from? Water is important for all living beings for their survival. Water finds a wide range of use in our lives. It is unique as it has no taste, shape, color, or smell. Water takes the taste, color, and smell of the things it gets mixed with. Water covers 70% of the surface of the earth. It is found in oceans, seas, rivers, ponds, lakes, and under the ground. Rainwater is the purest natural source of fresh water. Sources of water. Water is obtained from a number of sources. Some of them are given here. Rain. Rain is the main source of water. Rainwater fills rivers, lakes, ponds, and tanks during monsoon. Rainwater is the purest form of water. But when rain droplets come towards the ground, they get mixed with dust and dirt. So, it is not safe to drink rainwater. A large amount of rainwater gets collected in ponds, lakes, rivers and seas. Wells. Some rainwater goes into the soil. This is called underground water. People dig wells and use this water for drinking and other purposes. Well water is not safe for drinking. It should be boiled before drinking. Tanks. Tanks are large reservoirs of water. They are a common source of irrigation in the Deccan Plateau, where the rocky surface of the land makes it difficult to dig wells. The tanks get filled during the rainy season. Tube wells. Tube wells are a modern source of getting underground water. A tube well uses the electric power and takes out a great amount of underground water. This water is used for different purposes, mainly for irrigation. This water is safe for drinking. Rivers and lakes. Rivers are one of the most important sources of water. Rivers originate from glaciers or springs in the mountains. They also originate from the highlands, which get plenty of rainfall. There are both perennial and non-perennial rivers in India. The Himalayan rivers are perennial and flow throughout the year. They are fed by melting snow. The rivers of South India are non-perennial rivers. They do not flow throughout the year and depend on rainfall for their water. In the deserts, rivers are seasonal and are dry most of the time of the year. Freshwater lakes get their water from rainfall, from rivers, and from underground springs. Ponds are also filled by rain. Oceans and seas. Seas and oceans cover a large part of the earth. An ocean is a huge body of water. A sea is also large, but smaller than an ocean. The water in the seas and oceans is too salty to be used for our daily needs. Moreover, plants and other land animals also cannot use or drink seawater. Salt is extracted from seawater and refined in factories for our use. Therefore, fresh water is very precious for us. Ways to store water. Dam. Dams are walls built across rivers to block the flowing river water. This water is stored and used to generate electricity. Reservoir. A reservoir is an artificial lake constructed behind a dam. The blocked river water is stored in the reservoir. Later, this stored water is used for various activities. Canal. Canals are artificial waterways built for irrigation. Water from rivers is diverted into canals by digging channels. Canals take gather to form clouds. When the clouds become heavy, the water droplets in the clouds fall as rain. This is called precipitation. Precipitation can also be in the form of snow or hail. Rainwater falls on land and in water bodies like lakes, rivers, and seas. The water that falls on the ground may form puddles like we see on a rainy day. It may run underground or find its way into water bodies. Again, the process of evaporation from water bodies, condensation, and precipitation continue in nature. This circulation of water on the earth in a cyclic manner from land to atmosphere and back to land is called water cycle. Nitty-gritty. Water covers 70% of the earth's surface and about 97% of its water is salty. Only 3% of all water on earth is fresh water. Chapter 9. Houses. Time to think. What do you see in the pictures below? Write down the difference. We need a house to live in. Our house keeps us safe from heat, cold, and rain. It also protects us from thieves and wild animals. A house is a place we all love. Our house is like a heaven on earth. We all rest in our home. We keep our things, money, etc. safely in our house and use them whenever we are in need. Houses in the past. Earlier, houses were made of bricks and wood. The houses had high ceilings which allowed better air circulation. All the rooms had large windows and ventilators. There was a veranda and porch in the front. There were plenty of trees around the house. The kitchen used to be smoky and full of soot because they used cow dung cakes or firewood as fuel. There was no electricity at that time. People used lanterns or oil lamps for lighting. Water was drawn from wells. Some houses had wells or hand pumps of their own, or there were community wells for a group of houses. There was a kettle in most of the houses. Houses in villages. Houses in villages are simple. They are often made of bricks and often have thatched roofs. The houses have many windows and have large courtyards. The huts in villages are made of mud, wood, bamboo leaves, and grass. The floors are usually made of clay and are coated with cow dung. Now the scene has changed. Most villages have a regular supply of electricity and water. One can see schools, health centers, pakka roads, and many other modern facilities there. This transformation is the result of modern science and technology. The literacy rate has increased over the years. The farmers have built large farmhouses with modern facilities. Many of the kacha houses have been replaced by pakka houses. Houses in cities. Houses in the cities are made with long-lasting materials such as bricks, cement, and steel. The roofs are made of concrete and asbestos sheets. The floors are made of tiles, marble, or are made of mosaic. Multi-storied buildings. In very big cities, we see tall buildings. They are multi-storied buildings which have a large number of houses called apartments. Some very high buildings are called skyscrapers. Slums. Unfortunately, there is a section of our society that is almost homeless. These people are mostly poor laborers who come from villages to work in cities. The houses in the slums are made of bricks, mud, tin sheets, and plastic sheets. Since they are unauthorized colonies, they do not have water or electricity supply. They use a common washroom, built by the local government. These slums are breeding grounds for rats and mosquitoes. Since people live in such unhygienic conditions, they are prone to various diseases. The government is trying to provide low-cost housing with basic facilities for slum dwellers. Residential colonies. Sometimes houses are built together to form a colony. The houses in the colony have a common boundary wall. The houses may have 2 or 3 stories. People prefer to stay in these colonies because they feel safe there. Chapter 10. Recreation. Time to think. List some important rules of your favorite indoor. We need fun and enjoyment to keep ourselves fresh. Recreation. Any activity which gives us joy and pleasure is called recreation. Good diet and regular exercise are important to keep our body healthy. It also helps us to rule our mind. We have recreation in many ways. In the evening, we see many children playing in the park. Some enjoy swings, others cycling. Some enjoy rides, others skates. Some enjoy skipping, others hanging on rods. These activities relax them. When it is very hot or dark, we stay inside our home. We can have fun at home also, playing indoor games like snakes and ladders, ludo, carom, reading storybooks, listening to music, drawing, playing musical instruments, dancing, and watching television are some of them. Recreation by ourselves, television. Television has become the biggest means of recreation in recent times. There are many television channels which telecast different kinds of programs throughout the day and night. These channels show us news, musical programs, movies, plays, serials, etc. We are able to instantly see the important events happening in the world through the television. It is called direct or live telecast. Major sport events like cricket, football match, etc. are seen through live telecast. A live telecast is possible through satellites. Reading. Reading is a very good habit. It relaxes our mind. It gives us new information and knowledge. We learn how people live in different places and what their customs are. Reading also enhances our vocabulary as we get to know more words. Storybooks also entertain us. Music. All people love listening good music. It is a beautiful means of recreation. Music can be vocal or instrumental. Vocal music is called so when some singers sing the song. Instrumental music is played by means of different musical instruments only. Music can change our mood. It can make us feel good or sad or excited. Radio. Radio is the cheapest means of recreation. It is easily available. Illiterate people also can get entertained from radio. Radio can be enjoyed in far-off places where electricity has not reached yet. Recreation with family members. Family functions. When we go for family functions like birthday parties, weddings, anniversaries, marriages, etc., we enjoy with our family members. We wear new dresses. We get to meet many relatives and friends. Everybody enjoys the special food on these occasions. Everyone feels very happy. Festivals. We celebrate festivals such as Diwali, Holi, Dashera, Raksha Bandhan, Eid, Christmas, and Guru Purab with family and friends. These festivals bring joy and happiness. This helps us to build a feeling of togetherness with families and friends. We exchange gifts and sweets and worship the Almighty. We have a lot of fun on festivals. Picnic. Sometimes we go on a picnic. We play in the open and have a lot of fun. Zoo. We go to a zoo with our family. We see many animals like tiger, elephant, lion, monkey, sparrow, etc. We must not tease the animals. The show begins with loud music as all the performers come into the ring wearing gorgeous costumes. Some are on horses, some on elephants, some on cycles. Everyone claps loudly as they go round the ring waving at the audience. Fair. Going to a fair is also a great fun. People go to the fair with their families, buy many things from the stalls, eat mouth-watering food, and get a chance to enjoy different rides like the merry-go-round, giant wheel, etc. Fairs help many craftspeople like weavers, potters, etc. to sell their wares. Recreation during holidays. During holidays, people travel to other places for recreation. Generally, they visit hill stations. However, besides hill stations, people also like to visit sea beaches and famous historical places. To conclude, recreation is essential for us. Without it, our life would become boring and uninteresting. Given below are some reasons why recreation is important in our lives. Recreation helps to relax our mind as well as body. Playing different games is a form of recreation. It keeps us fit and healthy. Recreational activities make us happy and cheerful. Playing games together or in a team develops qualities like team spirit and leadership skills in us. Visiting historical places or new places as a form of recreation imparts knowledge of various places and people. Celebrating functions with family and relatives increase love and affection among all. Nitty-gritty. Participating in recreational activities helps us to manage stress. Unit 4, Our Neighborhood. Chapter 11, Mapping the Neighborhood. Time to think. Make a list of important landmarks that you come across on your way from your house to the nearest shopping complex. Map. A map is a drawing of a particular area, such as a country, a city, or a colony, which represents different places of that area and their connectivity with each other. The study and the process of making maps is called cartography. The person who makes map is called a cartographer. Importance of maps. Maps are very useful to us in the following ways. We can easily locate the places where we have to go. Maps save a lot of time. We take the exact and the shortest route to reach our destination. Types of maps. Maps are drawn differently to highlight particular features of a place. Relief maps show the shape of the land. Political maps show countries, their capital cities, and their borders. Thematic maps tell us interesting facts about different regions. They give us information about the weather and climate of a place or about the plants and wildlife that grow and live in a place. Maps like this need a key. Picture maps tell us a story without a key because pictures are used in them instead of symbols. Weather maps use symbols that can be understood anywhere in the world because they are like pictures. Nitty-gritty. A globe is the map of the earth shown on a sphere. Nitty-gritty. An atlas is a collection of maps of the earth or places on the earth. Language of a map. Different types of information are shown on a map. It needs to have a language. The language of a map is same all over the world. It is made up of 1. Directions, 2. Colors, 3. Signs and symbols, 4. Scale. Directions. Maps are drawn using the four fixed or cardinal directions. They are north, south, east, and west. On a map, east is always on the right, west is on the left, north is at the top, and south is at the bottom. An arrow or compass with the letter N on the map will show you where north is. Besides these four directions, northeast NE, southeast SE, southwest SW, and northwest NW are the four sub-directions. These intermediate directions make it easier to find places between the major directions. Colors in maps. In the maps, different colors are used to show different places. Colors, places. Blue, water bodies like oceans, seas, rivers, lakes. Green, plains. Yellow, highlands. Dark brown, mountains and hills. White, snow. Signs and symbols. Maps contain symbols which help us to identify places, boundaries, roads, bridges, etc. Symbols tell us where places are in a quick, simple and efficient way. For symbols to be efficient, they need to be commonly understood. Some of the symbols in general acceptance are given below. International boundary, state boundary, metalled road, unmetalled road, bridge, railway line, dam, well and tank, stream, forest, capital city, temple, church, mosque, post office, PO, telegraph office, TO, police station, PS, rest house, RH. Important signs and symbols used in maps. Scale. We cannot measure the distance between two places in a sketch or a plan. However, we can accurately measure the distance between places on a map. A scale on a map helps us to find out the distance between two places. For example, in a map, 2 centimeters may be equal to 200 kilometers. Thus, using this scale, we can measure the actual distance between two places. Legend. A legend is a small box in the map which shows us a list of symbols that are used in the map and what each symbol represents. Nitty-gritty. A sketch is a rough drawing of a place where the measurements are not accurate. Unit 5. Our body. Chapter 12. Sense organs. Time to think. List things that are soft to touch, rough to touch, sharp to touch, hard to touch, slippery to touch, wet to touch. Our body has 5 sense organs. These sense organs are the body's windows to the outside world. They are our skin, tongue, nose, ears, and eyes. Our sense organs have a special ability with a tongue cleaner every time. It can damage the eardrum and make a person deaf. Always clean your ears properly while taking a bath. Loud sounds from loudspeaker and music system can damage your eardrum and even make you deaf. Wear earplugs when you go for a swim. Never hit anyone hard on his or her ear. Eyes. Our eyes help us to see things around us. When we look at a thing, the light from the thing enters our eyes, which immediately sends signals to the brain. The brain enables us to know the shape, size, and color of the thing we are seeing. Working of the eye. Object is in front of the eyes. Image is formed inside the eyes. The nerves in the eyes send messages to the brain. Brain reads the messages and enables us to see the object. Care of the eyes. We should wash our eyes many times with cold and fresh water during the course of a day. We should always study in adequate light, whether it is day or night. While studying, we should keep our book at least 1.5 feet away from our eyes. We should never watch television sitting close to it. Rather, we should sit at least 3 meters away from it. Nitty-gritty. A sixth sense is an ability that some people believe they have that seems to give them information without using the 5 senses. Chapter 13. Teeth. Time to think. Name the parts of the tongue that would help you to taste. soft food and we do not have to chew it for a long time. But sometimes we have to grind the food between our teeth to soften it. Sometimes food has to be torn into smaller pieces. We, therefore, have various types of teeth. They are as follows. Number 1. Cutting teeth. The teeth that help us to cut our food are called cutting teeth. The 4 front teeth in each jaw are the cutting teeth. These have a chisel-like shape and are called incisors. Incisors are a set of 8 teeth. 2. Tearing teeth. The teeth that tear food for us are called tearing teeth. We have a pointed tooth on each side of the incisors. They are also known as canines. We have 2 canines in both upper and lower jaws. Canines are a set of 4 teeth. Canines. 3. Premolars. There are 4 premolars in each jaw. They are next to canines. They are broad and flat teeth. These teeth help us in cracking food like nut crackers. They are also called cracking teeth, premolars. 4. Grinding teeth. Grinding teeth or molars grind up food until it is small enough to swallow. They are at the back of the mouth. These grinding teeth are broad and flat. There are 12 molars in our mouth. Molar. Parts of a tooth. Even though different teeth have different shapes and sizes, they have 3 main parts. These are the root, the neck, and the crown. The part of the tooth which holds these animals are suited to the types of food they eat. Some animals eat only plants. They are called herbivores. Herbivores such as cows, antelopes, camels, and deer eat grass. They have sharp and broad front teeth to bite the grass. Their back teeth are flat. This helps them to chew their food well. Herbivores have a gap between the front and the back teeth as they do not have canines. Cow eating grass. Flesh-eating animals or carnivores like lions, tigers, cats and dogs have well-developed canines to tear the flesh. They also have strong grinding teeth to chew the flesh. Lion eating flesh. Animals like mongoose, squirrels, and rats eat seeds, fruits, and nuts. To bite and cut the food, they have a pair of incisors in each jaw. Squirrel eating peanuts. Reptiles and fish have all teeth of nearly the same size and shape. They use them to catch their prey. They replace their teeth continuously. Snakes have teeth, but they do not chew their food. They swallow the animals whole. They can swallow animals bigger than their own bodies. Snake swallowing a deer. Lizards and frogs do not have teeth. They swallow their food without chewing. They have long, sticky, dart-like tongues so that they can catch flies and mosquitoes. Turtles and tortoises also do not have teeth. Nitty-gritty. Teeth are the hardest part of our body. Chapter 14. Internal Organs. Time to think. Complete the following table. One has been done for you. Our body is a wonderful gift of God. It is like a complex machine. It has many parts which perform different functions. These parts are called organs. They work together. Internal organs. The internal organs of the body are hidden inside our body, so we cannot see them from outside. Brain, lungs, heart, kidneys, liver, and stomach are the internal organs of the body. Internal organs of human body: brain, lungs, heart, spleen, liver, stomach, kidneys, pancreas, intestine, small and large, bladder. Number 1. Brain. The brain is the most important internal organ of our body. It is the control center from where all the activities that we perform are controlled. The brain is present inside the skull. It is very soft and delicate. It is protected by a hard bone called cranium from all kinds of head injury. The brain controls heartbeat and breathing and directs every movement of our body. The brain receives messages from different parts of the body with the help of thin, thread-like nerves. The brain quickly understands a message and sends out signals through nerves to different parts of the body to react accordingly. Our brain is divided into 3 parts: cerebrum, cerebellum, and medulla oblongata. All the parts perform different functions. purifying blood and producing energy from blood. Number 4. Liver. It is the largest internal organ of the body. It helps in digestion process. It is located in the lower abdomen. It produces a yellowish fluid called bile, which helps in the digestion of the food. It also protects us against the poisonous chemicals produced in our body. It is made up of billions of cells and perform various metabolic functions. It can be called a chemical factory and the storehouse. The liver stores various substances like vitamins and minerals. It also helps us to maintain a constant body temperature of 37 degrees Celsius. Number 5. Kidneys. The most important internal organ of our body is the pair of kidneys. These organs are bean-shaped and brown in color. They are located on the back wall of the abdomen and behind the stomach. Due to the various activities done by our body, many impurities are formed. These impurities are brought out by the blood to the kidneys. The kidneys filter out these impurities, and these are given out in the form of urine through the urethra. Number 6. Stomach. The stomach is the main internal organ related to the digestive system. It is a hollow bag with muscular walls. When food enters the stomach, it expands in size. The food chewed in the mouth reaches the stomach through the food pipe. Digestive juices break up the food in the stomach. Food is partially digested here. Then the food reaches the small intestine. Here, digestive juices get mixed with it. These juices further dissolve the food. Then, as it is in the environment, are called non-biodegradable wastes. They keep polluting the environment for years. Aluminium cans, plastics, polythene bags, silver foil, detergents, rubber, etc. are all non-biodegradable wastes. Urban and rural waste. People living in cities produce more waste than those who live in villages. This is because people in villages have a different lifestyle compared to those who live in cities or towns. Villagers lead a simple life. They reuse a lot of things. They have fewer demands as compared to those who live in the cities. Villagers collect their wastes in compost pits and use it as a manure. Managing wastes. The activities and actions that are required to manage waste from its formation to its final disposal is called waste management. This includes collection, transport, treatment, and disposal of waste along with checking and supervision. The garbage we throw into our dustbins is collected from a house by the garbage collector every day. The garbage collector then disposes of the garbage in a garbage bin assigned to a particular colony. These garbage bins are emptied in municipal corporation trucks and then taken away. The trucks dump the waste at landfill sites where it is sometimes burnt or layered with mud. In the present times, the absence of adequate land for dumping waste and overusing of available dumping sites is posing problems in disposal of waste. Disposal of solid waste. There are various methods by which waste material is disposed of. The methods of disposing solid wastes are: number 1. Compost Pit Method. Compost pit is a deep pit in which we can throw biodegradable waste. It is then covered at the top. Hence, the waste decays slowly and changes into manure after a few months. Number 2. Open dumping method. The garbage is collected and thrown in an area that is away from the city. This also pollutes the environment. Number 3. Sanitary landfill method. The non-biodegradable waste is dumped in a sanitary landfill. These are deep pits dug at places far away from the city. Each time waste is dumped, it is covered by a layer of soil. Number 4. Incineration method. Incineration is done in specialized burning chambers to burn the non-biodegradable wastes. These are called incinerators. They have very high chimneys so that the smoke is eliminated up high in the air. Medical waste is disposed of by burning it to ashes in an incinerator. Refuse, reduce, reuse and recycle. Refuse. Choose to refuse the use of plastic shopping bags. Our environment is polluted the most because of plastic bags. Plastic bags don't compost. Instead, they break up, not break down, becoming permanent pollution. They easily end up in the stomachs of land animals and sea creatures. We must carry a cloth bag while shopping. We must refuse the use of plastic bags. We must say no to plastic straws. We must stop using plastic cutlery. Reduce is a national level campaign run by the Indian government to make all backward turbines rotate with speed, generating electricity. valuable for us. They give us food to eat and oxygen to breathe. All animals depend on plants for their food. They check flood, prevent soil erosion, and provide shelter to countless birds and animals. Besides this, they bring rain and help in the water cycle. Number 2. Non-renewable resources. Resources which are limited in nature or are exhaustible are called non-renewable resources. Forests, minerals, coal, petroleum, and metals like iron, aluminium, gold, and silver are some examples. Forests. Forests are one of the most important natural resources. They take in carbon dioxide and give out air rich in oxygen. They provide us with food for firewood, construction of houses, furniture. Forests also help in many we should keep taps closed when not in use. Rainwater should be collected and harvested. We should use smokeless chulhas. We should use a bucket to bathe instead of a shower as it consumes more water. We should try to avoid using individual cars. We should use public transport or carpools to save fuel. We should keep our vehicle pollution free. Water left after washing food items like dal and vegetables can be used for watering plants. In offices, schools, hospitals, industries and other such places, fans, light, cooler, etc. should be switched off when not in use. Nitty-gritty. The role of natural resources in sustaining life on Earth is extremely important, and we must ensure that they are protected in the environment and also make it easy for them to replenish themselves naturally. Chapter 17. Pollution. Time to think. Paste pictures of different kinds of pollution in the space given below. Pollution means the process of making the environment dirty and unpleasant, especially by means of poisonous chemicals. The meaning of the word pollution itself suggests how dangerous it is. Things which make the air, water, or the earth dirty or harmful to people, animals, and plants are called pollutants. Pollution is very harmful, both for the environment and for our health. Kinds of pollution. Pollution is mainly of four types. 1. Air pollution. 2. Water pollution. 3. Sound pollution. 4. Soil pollution. Nitty-gritty. Pollution prevention, P2, is any practice that reduces, eliminates or prevents pollution and its source. Air pollution. Excess of smoke, dust particles and harmful gases in the air is known as air pollution. Polluted air is injurious to health. It causes many diseases. Causes of air pollution. A large amount of smoke is released from various factories. This smoke is rich in a large number of harmful gases which pollute the air. Cars, buses and other vehicles give out carbon dioxide and an extremely poisonous gas called carbon monoxide. Fuels like wood, petrol, kerosene and diesel burn and give out smoke. Depletion of forests and wooded land. In most places, the garbage and dry leaves are accumulated and burnt. This smoke causes a lot of air pollution. Garbage dumped in the open and open drainage systems pollute air and spread various diseases. Dust also pollutes the air. The dust present in the air causes a lot of breathing problems. Effects of air pollution. Pollutants in the air trap a lot of heat. This is making the temperature all over the world rise up. This environment problem is known as global warming. Too much global warming will melt the ice in the North and South Pole. This will fill more water in the oceans. This will make the ocean water go up. Fish and other aquatic animals die due to water pollution. Plants also die in polluted water. Cancer of different kinds is linked to the presence of different agricultural chemicals in our drinking water from polluted water bodies. Water pollution affects our health in many ways. It causes typhoid, cholera, paratyphoid, fever, dysentery, jaundice, amoebiasis and malaria. Pesticides can damage the nervous system and cause cancer because of the carbonates and organophosphates that they contain. Preventing water pollution. Water pollution can be prevented in the following ways. Use less chemicals for farming. Don't wash or bathe with soap and detergents in river water. Don't dump waste in waters. Factories should be away from rivers where people dwell. Sound pollution. Very loud noise in the air is called sound pollution. Causes of sound pollution. Use of loudspeakers at social functions and public meetings. Blowing of horns unnecessarily. Loud noise of vehicles and generators. Playing of radio and television loudly also causes sound pollution. Effects of sound pollution. It disturbs the peace of our mind. It tires the brain and affects our thinking and understanding capacity. Continuous noise can cause high blood pressure, deafness, and headache. It can cause sleeplessness. This might give rise to other health problems. Sound pollution, it dates a buy organic products, especially organic cleaners, pesticides. made him think that fire might help in many ways, but he was not aware of how to produce fire at his own will. Perhaps one day he took courage and lit fire with the help of the sparks of the jungle fire. He would have been adding dry leaves, grass, or wood to keep it burning. Learning to make fire was a very big happening in the life of the early man. He must have seen sparks when he broke stones for making tools. Dry leaves or grass would have caught fire when these sparks fell on them. Thus he learned to make fire. The early man used stones to make fire. Now we use a matchbox or a lighter to light a fire. A matchbox contains many small sticks called matches. These matches are made of a soft wood called polar. A very small amount of brown material called red phosphorus is applied on one of its ends. A thin coating of red phosphorus is also applied on the sides of the matchbox. When we strike the matches on the matchbox, we get fire. Fire is used to burn wood, light the gas stove, etc. The early man used fire in the following ways. For cooking food. Early man used to eat raw meat of animals before the discovery of fire, but after he came to know about fire, he started eating roasted meat. He found it tastier and softer than before. It was also easy to digest. For security, the early man used fire as a security measure. He observed that the animals feared fire. He used burning fire and lighted present in the air. Human beings and animals need oxygen for their survival. This way, fire lessens the amount of oxygen in the air. Burning of fire causes air pollution. When something burns, it emits carbon dioxide in the air. This gas is very harmful for the human being. So, excessive use of fire is harmful for our health. Jungle fire is caused mainly due to the heat of the sun. It results in destruction of forests. It also causes pollution in the atmosphere and imbalance in nature.